Hello and welcome to the full moon in Leo. Now, don't mind my appearance. I have been outside shoveling snow and playing in the snow and walking in the snow, and I'm going to go back outside shortly after, but I wanted to get in here and record this video on the full moon in Leo as quick as possible because it's coming up on January the 25th. This full moon is probably one of my more favorite full moons of the year, I have to say, just because it really allows us to connect with our authentic self. Now, first, if you are new to my channel, thank you very much for being here. My name is Tara Kavatoff. I am an intuitive healer, teacher, speaker, guide, specializing in the shadow, but mostly also specializing in our whole self. So really connecting with all the aspects of our being. And why I focus on the full moon and new moons are because it offers us a very potent time to connect with aspects within ourselves that we may generally overlook. So each full moon, as they go through a zodiac sign, it gives us an opportunity to look at an aspect within ourselves that we may not see otherwise, that we may not focus on otherwise. And due to the nature that we are in Aquarius season, we are in fixed energy, which I will explain in a moment, allows us to take time to really explore our deeper selves. And the full moons are very potent, as I'm sure many of us know. The potency of the full moons offers us a time to do our inner work. And the more connected we are with our deeper self, the more that we explore, the more that we question, the more that we reflect on, the more we will understand about ourselves. The more we can heal, the more we can transform, the greater awareness we have, so on and so forth. So the full moons are very, very, very potent and really nice to work with. I've been working with the lunar cycles for many years now, and it's helped me understand many aspects within myself, but also understand the aspects of the universe and the connectedness with all. Relationships with other people, relationships with life, being able to manifest, being able to be a master of self. And this full moon in Leo really allows for that. And that's why, again, I love this full moon in Leo, because it allows us to connect with what is holding us back from speaking authentically, from being our whole authentic, vibrant self, from maybe what is holding us back from maybe taking a leap forward into a direction that we are desiring. So those fears, those limitations, those subconscious limiting beliefs hold us back. And that really is pretty much the direction of my videos, is to understand those limiting beliefs, those shadow self, the subconscious patterns, what is really holding us back and weighing us down and preventing us from creating the life that we truly desire. And the reason why these full moons are really great to work with is because it allows us to look at potentially one aspect within ourselves that we can really hone in on, that we can really dial in and pay attention to this one particular part of ourselves. And really the whole point of this exercise, of these exercises, all the new and the full moons, doing this work, this inner work, is to understand our whole being. So understanding our whole self, the complexities within ourselves that we have to explore. So the full moon, this full moon Leo comes in January the 25th. We are in Aquarius season. We were in Aquarius season January the 20th, started in really strong actually with the Pluto moving into Aquarius as well, both on the 20th. So you've probably been catching a lot of information about Pluto. It is really, the content is really out there. A lot of people are talking about it. I'm going to be having an astrologer come on here this coming week to talk about this as well. But Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, of the underworld, of unearthing the illusions within and in the collective, in the world, to uncover what has been hidden, what hasn't been explored, what hasn't been looked at, and what needs to change. We're definitely moving into a time where a lot of technologies are becoming released. Things are moving really fast right now in the technology landscape, and also human rights. So Aquarius is a visionary. Aquarius is a fixed air sign. And it is the second last zodiac in the zodiac calendar. So it's kind of coming to the end of the zodiac calendar of really expanding the consciousness of the collective. Now, Aquarius is a very individualistic energy. Aquarius has its own unique style, embracing its uniqueness, embracing its authenticity. Also, again, being a visionary, being able to see into the future, seeing where things are going, and also being a pioneer for progress. And that truly is Aquarian energy. So if you have Aquarius in your chart, if you are Aquarius sun sign, moon, rising, you probably are a little bit of a visionary, or maybe a big visionary visionary, and it's tough for visionaries to be at the head of the game because you have to wait for the rest of the world to catch up. So that's kind of what's happening right now. There's a lot of this progress happening as we move into February. We have also in the study of numerology, the study of numbers, we have a universal month 1 in February, with February being the second month. And this is going to be a very interesting number combination, especially being in Aquarius season when we have also a bunch of planets going into Aquarius in February. So it's a very heavy Aquarian energy that we're moving into. And so I want to also emphasize the energy of Aquarius, knowing how this full moon is going to play into that energy, right? So we usually look at the lunar cycle starting on the new moon. We have the new moon in Capricorn. This is the full moon in Leo. But I also want to look at this full moon in context with our greater landscape of moving into February. So with Aquarian energy being very, again, progressive, innovative, forward-thinking, visionary, humanitarian. So it's all about seeing what's happening in our world and how we can better humanity, how we can think of our collective, but also honor our individual uniqueness. And so with the uniqueness and our individualistic self, when we are in alignment with our authenticity, when we are feeling empowered within ourselves, when we are feeling in alignment, then we can create great change. We can express, we can inspire, we can lead. And that is this full moon in Leo. So this full moon in Leo is going to allow us to hone in on some of those shadow aspects that are holding us back or preventing us from fully expressing ourselves, or from fully stepping maybe into the limelight a little bit, or taking the lead, or being in a leadership role in whatever kind of capacity that is. In any kind of capacity, we're all in different paths. If being in the limelight and being in the foreground isn't your thing, it really is all about seeing where you're holding yourself back from expressing your truth and feeling comfortable in your body, feeling comfortable with your energetic self, feeling comfortable in front of people, in whatever kind of capacity that is. And so if there's a discomfort or anxiety or fear around expressing yourself or being around people or being creative and maybe creating something that is going to create maybe a positive impact in the world or in your community or within your friends or however it resonates. If there's a fear or a hesitation or a worry or a doubt, then it's coming from the subconscious. It's coming from somewhere deeper that needs to be looked at. And why I look at the shadow aspects with the full moon is because the full moon does really unearth our deeper selves. It really shakes up our energy within, and we can really maximize this opportunity to go within, to explore our deeper selves, our fears, our limitations, our worry, and even on the shadow aspect of Leo is the ego, right? So where is the ego playing into maybe resistance, or are we coming from a place of authenticity when we are stepping into our future, when we are creating our future? Where is that drive coming from? Is it coming from a place of pure heart, or is it coming from a place of needing to prove? Is it coming from a place of anger, resentment? Is it coming from a place of wanting to make money and maybe from the wrong reasons, maybe from a superficial place? So check in to see where that is coming in. There's a lot of, on the shadow side of Leo, pridefulness, arrogance, stubbornness, ego, of course, kind of being about me rather than thinking of other people a little bit. So just check in. Again, is that coming up for you in any kind of way, and how can it be released? During the full moon, you want to write down what you do want to release. So any fears of limitations, fears, restrictions, uncertainty, anything that's holding you back from speaking your voice, or maybe even with this Aquarian energy, being the visionary and inventive and creating something that you've always wanted to do. So it is time now to step into our authenticity. It is time to step into our light and create from that pure heart, that brave heart, that courage, that drive and passion that we all have within. And so looking at these zodiac archetypes, we all have these traits within ourselves. It's just a matter of looking within and acknowledging it. And if you don't see it, maybe it's a good time to reflect and see what is dormant or what's been maybe suppressed from that aspect of yourself coming to life in some kind of form. So again, during the full moons, you want to write down what you are desiring to release, get clear, spend some time. You can meditate. just check in with yourself on a deeper level. And it is a time with these practices to become very honest and vulnerable and open with ourselves. And that is going to set us free. That is going to shine light on those shadow aspects within so that we can, again, become more whole, that we can become more confident with ourselves, and we can pave a path towards our future. And again, this Aquarius energy is all about our future. It's all about the vision. All right. So also with the full moon, meditation, as I mentioned, is really great. Letting go, releasing. You can do cord cutting. And you can also join me over on Patreon, where I have the Inner Circle and the Lunar Collective. With the Lunar Collective, you will be able to join all the new and full moons. If you can't make it, there are replays available that you can watch on your own time, where I walk through all of the energies. I walk through the steps to basically reflect inward, to understand this archetype, also guided meditations, readings, and journal prompts, and more. So the link is below, and I hope to see you there. And I'm wishing you all the best during this beautiful full moon in Leo. Again, after this full moon, we are moving into February, which is a universal month 1. And so in February, we have big energy of beginnings. And I have to also mention, being in fixed energy with Aquarius, Leo opposes Aquarius. We have this time to kind of sink in deeper with our intellect, with research, studying, analyzing, maybe even working towards the future, working on being very inventive, very innovative, maybe even humanitarian efforts, but also really kind of like going into the depths of information and into the depths of detail with this fixed energy. But in February, we may witness the energy shift into something more progressive, right? So that's where I feel, and I mentioned this on my latest podcast, the Aquarian age and AI consciousness, that I feel in February is going to be a bit of a tipping point in some kind of way, because we do have in numerology, the science of numbers, we do have this lineup happening with a big heavy dose of Aquarian energy coming in February. So it could be quite interesting, quite innovative, inventive, and a lot of progress I feel coming to the surface in February. But we're all on a unique path. For you, this is a really wonderful time to let go of those fears so you can carve a path towards your future and really ride this wave of innovation and creation. And even with Leo energy, self-expression, creativity, anything that's holding you back, now is the time to let it go. So I'm wishing you all the best during the full moon. Make sure to check me out over on Patreon, and I will be seeing you again very soon. Take care.